Ma'am, napanood mo po ba yung interview ni Senator Enrile sa TV5? Only a portion of it. Ang galing niya, no? Ang galing niya sumagat. But to tell you the truth, I have very mixed feelings about Senator Enrile. But there's one thing that I will say. I believe in his intelligence and his capacity as a lawyer. Nakita naman natin during the impeachment ni Chief Justice Corona, and were it not for the fact na may umikot na DAP, I think that that would have been that he had presided over the impeachment of Justice Corona very well. So, nung nakita ko rin na sinopla niya, nabara niya si Ma'am Lucci, medyo natawa ako. Because tama naman siya. Kasi si Miss Lucci was saying, people say that you set it up. People say you were the one who was ambushed. People say, and she was not citing exactly who said that. Whereas si Senator Enrile was saying, teka muna, ako yung nandun. I am the witness. I am the body of evidence. Ano pang mas mabigat doon? So, di ba, it just kind of boggles the mind how people want to hold on to what they think are historical facts when the fact is that history is constantly being rewritten as new evidence comes up. So we have to consider kung ano yung tingin natin dun sa mga martial lawyers kasi unang-unang habang buhay pa si Senator Enrile, we can still ask him, ano po talaga ang nangyari sa martial law? Bakit maraming namatay? Ilan ang namatay? Bakit ang daming nag-disappear? Ganon. So, we really have to question the narrative now. And it's not wrong, ha, yung sinasabi. And so, let's go into that discussion that I wanted also to talk about. There is this thing na sinasabi during the rally, na sinasabi nila historical revisionism. Inaakusa yung administrasyon at ang kanilang mga defenders na tayo daw ay nag-i-indulge in historical revisionism. Ano yun? It means binabago daw natin yung pagkasulat ng history. Wow, teka muna, full stop. Who says that history is cast in stone? Ako po, I am an archaeologist, or at least I'm taking up my MA in archaeology. It'll be done in about 2 sems. And the one thing that we always know is that we don't always know everything. So that's why nga there are archaeologists, that's why there are historians, that's why there are historical research scholars, because there is always something to find out that might change our view, that might tell us more about what happened during a particular period. And in many cases, we also keep writing history. We don't stop. Hindi yung comment sasabihin natin, well, we know King George was King of England during this particular period. But you don't stop trying to find out everything that has happened then so that we have a clearer and more accurate picture of what we will feel about it, di ba? So, bakit? Bakit importante ang historical research? Bakit importante na nagko-question tayo? At bakit dapat tinututulan natin yung sinasabi ng kabila na historical revisionism? Because with history is interpreted sometimes or often to suit political agendas. I'll give you an example. Si General Emilio Aguinaldo is considered a hero. Okay? But many people are angry at him kasi pinapatay daw niya si Bonifacio. Now, between Bonifacio and Aguinaldo, when you mention the two names, minumura si Aguinaldo and Bonifacio is held up to be this demigod at the level of Jose Rizal. I question that. Why? Because this was the rhetoric. A lot of what we know is the rhetoric that was based on the elections where Quezon was running against Emilio Aguinaldo. And the narrative of Emilio Aguinaldo killing Andres Bonifacio was part of the rhetoric of that period. I'm not saying that Andres Bonifacio is not a hero, but what I'm saying is that there are certain opinions of historical events that we unconsciously adopt. So, yung pagkaka-interpret ng ating kasaysayan can fulfill a political agenda. Kung tatandaan ninyo, sinabi ni Marcos, di ba? Ginuhit ng tadhana. So, he had to portray himself as a war hero. He had to portray himself as something so that he would be the better candidate. History is interpreted to fulfill a particular political agenda. That is why Cory Aquino, during her administration, kunwari ayaw niya, but other people pursued it, sinabi ng ibang mga tao, bayani si Ninoy. Bakit? Kasi kung bayani si Ninoy, then legitimate yung presidency ni Cory Aquino. So remember that always. We have to keep reviewing our history. We always have to encourage scholars to keep rewriting and not always accept what we think are standard historical facts. Kaya nga may National Historical Commission of the Philippines, parati nilang nire-review at nag-encourage sila ng mga research sa ating kasaysayan para mas lumaganap yung ating kaalaman tungkol dito. Medyo napasobra yata yung daldal ko. You're doing a great job. Watching from Vancouver. Good morning. Attorney, regarding sa kaso ng Enrile na bawal umanong ginawa. Like I said, I will keep repeating this. Huwag muna tayo magtanong tungkol dun sa kaso ni Asek Mocha. She issued a statement na she's ready for anything. But until I see the complaint, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-comment. At least wala pang intelligent na comments. Grabe na di na lang chinek ng maayos yung rules ng proper filing. Opo, yun sa House, opo. That's another thing, ha. Tatandaan natin dun sa kaso ni Andres Bautista, maliwanag na ang Kongreso, ang Committee on Justice, ang hindi po nag-act with strictness in interpreting their own rule. Watching from Cambodia, thank you for wow, it's so clear the explanation. Isa po kayo sa lawyers ni Asek Mocha. No, I'm one of her consultants. Watching from Osaka, could you help her also in the case? We will do our best to help her as much as we can. Good morning, watching from UAE. Shout out to TP and Mocha. Oh, everybody, hi. If you can, just shout out to TP and Mocha and support them because, you know, we know that they're there in New York right now to fulfill a public purpose, to give us information about what is going on. Ang maganda kasi kay TP at kay Mocha na i-interpret nila para sa masa yung mga nangyayari. And tandaan nyo, a UN General Assembly, hindi po madaling i-explain yan. So, I'm very glad that TP and Mocha are there. Sabi ni TP, marami na daw lawyers calling Mocha to help. Yes. Bakit mali yung sinabi ni Piduts na account number? Ay, we discussed this po, yung account number, and mukhang gano'n na nga po yung nangyayari. President Duterte, stated the wrong account number, which prompted Senator Trillanes to go to Singapore. And when he went to Singapore, he allegedly got a certification that that account doesn't exist. You know, if that account really didn't exist, then he didn't need the certification. But he possibly, our theory is that he probably went there also to close an existent account. And now we know you cannot close an account that does not exist or that does not belong to you. So that was the trap that was set by the President. And we'll be able to secure that information through government-to-government agreements, through government-to-government dealing. Share na po. Done sharing. Shared. Okay, thank you. Australia, Texas. Waste of time and money. It is strange when you have a J that is familiar with foreseen that there is missing or lacking the presentation of documents before submitting the papers. Oh, you're talking about Lorna or Harry Roque? No, Harry Roque explained that when they filed the complaint for impeachment, they just used the same verification that was used daw in the, I say daw because I didn't see either one. They used though the same thing that was used in CJ Sereno's complaint. So I'm not sure. Ano po masasabi niyo kay Trillanes na against daw sa fake news, tapos siya naman hindi validated ang mga paratang niya sa ibang tao like Paolo and Mans? Very well said. Sino ba nagsabi nito? Yeah, I agree that Senator Trillanes loses the moral authority or the moral high ground in talking about fake news when he himself is quite often indulges in false accusations and uses his shield of the Senate to do that. Well, for those that was not able to ayan, sorry, I was waiting for a signal. Gosh, I forgot. For those whose questions I wasn't able to see kasi ang bilis-bilis, just please retype your questions so that I can read it out. It's really nice of you to share your knowledge. Just driving fast to get home. Uy, dahan-dahan sa pagdadrive. So those who are listening while they're driving, please drive carefully. And for those who are, up late, thank you very much. But you don't have to do sleep on this. You can watch this on the replay. So, ano pa ba? What else do you want to talk about? Hi, sa Illinois, hay naku, umiyak na lang ang mga talunan dahil hindi sila nakapwesto. Bukas ang isip ng mga mamamayan. Duterte is my president. Anthony Trix, pat na yan, stop ng live mo. Ano kaya nangyayari? A lot of people are complaining about the connection. Hindi lang po sa akin, marami po. In fact, maraming hindi nakakanood right now because mahina talaga ang internet connection. Kaya DICT, petsa na ha. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and supporting our president. Yay! Okay, Attorney Ahmed is watching. Everybody give a thumbs up or say hi to Attorney Ahmed. Nasa ano na siya. He was supposed to join me today pero nagpapaayos siya ng kotse ata. So, good morning, watching from San Pablo. Good morning, Nati. Yes. Cringing at LCV. Ano po yung LCV, Miss Anne? Watching from Melbourne. Watching from Israel. Dati po ako masugid na tagapagsubaybay ng relasyon ni Lucy at Attorney Mel, pero nilayasan ko na dahil napaka-bias puli na. Nakakapanghinayang. Sabi ni Attorney Ahmed, ang bagal. Yung nagpo-post po as Luminous, that's Attorney Ahmed because he's co-administrator of this page. Kaya may mga times na ang tapang-tapang ng mga posts si Attorney Ahmed yun. So we have to figure out a way to, para ma-distinguish ninyo kung sino sa amin yung nagpo-post. Hello, Attorney, watching from Lipa. Sherdan, si Ma'am Lucy. Alam nyo, disclosure lang, Lucy went to UP the same time that I did. Pero ahead siya. So, but hindi kami close.